Tiger uppercut!
You ready for another beating? You should have never came back.
Good afternoon. This is your man Who Did It. Who Did It this time, coming at you with another episode, another installment to the classic series of the Scouting Report. And on this specific episode, we are going to highlight don't get into a one-on-one and don't go toe-to-toe. Don't get into a one-on-one and don't go toe-to-toe. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're familiar with anyone who plays basketball or even a good wide receiver or tight end in a football game, you have defenders. You have people who take pride in being the opposition, being the barrier, being the restraint of stopping you from scoring. And then there are the great elite offensive weapons such as Kyrie Irving, who's a modern day basketball player. You have your Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You have in football, Jerry Rice, who was a technician, who was very choppy in his route running the route tree. If you're familiar with football terms, that means he can run long, he can run deep, he can run a bubble screen, he can go across the middle, he'll take the hit. He'll do anything and everything to get the ball thrown his way. Rob Gronkowski, Tony Gonzalez, Shannon Sharp, Sterling Sharp, Randy Moss, Art Monk, Lynn Swann. Running backs who run out of the backfield such as Gale Sayers, Roger Craig. Then there's such things as going toe-to-toe like a great boxer, Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, the enforcer known as George Foreman, Floyd Patterson, Ken Norton, the father that is. Don't go toe-to-toe with this guy because he'll knock your head off if you're familiar with the Rocky series. What they mean by don't go toe-to-toe with him or don't get into a one-on-one, because you're at their mercy. Whenever Michael Jordan has you on a one-on-one and he's not going up against a team defense like he used to have to go through with the bad boy Pistons of the late 80s or those mid-80s Celtic teams, when you don't prepare for him as a team, you're doomed. You're looking to get destroyed. When you get into a one-on-one with Kobe Bryant, he lives for that moment. You saw his classic interview during the Olympics when they asked who would win one-on-one between he and what's the guy from LeBron James. He said, "I'll destroy him." I'm sure Kareem felt the same way. I'm sure Bird felt the same way. Elgin Baylor, Bob Cousy, all of those guys, they have an ego. One-on-one, they always feel like they can win. And they should. They're professional basketball players. Floyd Mayweather should feel that way if you ever was to try to fight him, boxing toe-to-toe. Felix Trinidad, at one time Pernell Whitaker, Iron Mike Tyson. Even some of your newer boxers, Gervonta Davis and any of the Garcias. And that's no diss. But as always, as all of the scouting reports, we want to ask ourselves, how does this correlate to our day-to-day activity? Who did it? Well, I'm so glad you'd asked. When it comes with dealing with your woman, one-on-one, like that Hall & Oates song, Daryl Hall & Oates, one-on-one, I'm all for that. Just me and you, candlelight dinner, and we don't need to get, too graphic. We don't need to let our minds wander but so far. But I'm not talking about that one-on-one. I'm talking about the one-on-one with you going back and forth with numbskulls, people who are not even worth to go one-on-one with. If you really want to go one-on-one with someone, you have to understand that we're playing on my terms. You look in the mirror, you are that Kobe Bryant. You are that Michael Jackson on the stage in Bucharest and all of the countries abroad. This is your stage. This is your life. So if you going one-on-one with somebody, understand this, man. It got to be worth it, because I'm fitting to destroy you. And the only reason why Whodidit has that confidence, and I suggest and recommend that you do too, is because I know who prepped me. I know who's running this movie. I know who the director is. I know who the producer is. Almighty God with a capital G. Nothing short of anything else. No gods come before him. Nothing comes before him. So that's the reason why you can walk around with a source or a sense, pardon me, of arrogance. Because you understand that one-on-one, I'll blow your face off. And what do you mean by that? We're not talking basketball, are we? No, we're not talking basketball, baby. We're talking about anything. We're talking about if you want to go back and forth on this thing called life. You tell me what makes you a better man or woman, I'll tell you what's moving me. If you're worth it. Now, once again, as we talked about in previous scouting reports, you have to know when the degenerates are on the court. The flunkies, the Plan B team, the substitutes. No disrespect, I might watch for humorous reasons. But I'm a star. I'm a prize fighter. You don't want to go toe-to-toe with this guy, he'll kill you. The only reason why I feel that way about myself is because I'm energized and put together by something greater than me. Man has a habit of thinking that he's in control of everything. And by human nature, we all fall short of that behavior at times. But when we self-reflect and we realize that nothing, and I mean nothing, can keep us away from such things as death, sickness, other illnesses. You're that close to being demised every day. You just don't know that. When it's your time, it's your time. So to go back and forth with a degenerate is a waste of time. You don't want to go one-on-one with me. I'll destroy you. Now, in reverse, let me let you all know this. You can't go toe-to-toe with the devil himself. You can't go toe-to-toe with his forces. Now, he can't physically touch you, but he can mind manipulate and embody other mammals and other organisms known to this thing called life to irritate you, to become some type of barrier, to stop your progress. So for you to walk around like you can do it all, once again, that's idiotic. That's imbecile-like. So before I go, I just want to let you know that when it comes to going one-on-one, there's nothing wrong with believing in your craft. And I shouldn't say craft because that's too much like terminology like them. And if you have to ask who them is, then obviously you haven't been watching the channel long enough. And that's fine. Iron sharpens iron. So you have to be around other brothers who you don't mind going one-on-one with. You know, at grabbing lunch, talking about things, talking over the phone. You know what I mean? Even like nowadays, you brothers do the Zoom, and I do the Zoom too. What is it? Duo and all kinds of FaceTime because we're in this pandemic. So you have to understand that we're going to have conversations, but to go one-on-one, with someone, they got to be worth it, man. Don't waste your time on anything. Don't waste words. Don't go toe-to-toe with certain people because, to be honest with you, you're wasting your time. If you're going to go back and forth with someone, please let them be empowering you or challenging you in a healthy manner. So with that being said, this is your man, Who Did It? Who Did It this time? Coming at you with the scouting report. And we covered, don't get into a one-on-one and don't go toe-to-toe. This is your man, Who Did It? And I'm signing off. All praises to the Most High. Thank you again for tuning in. All of the new subscribers, welcome. I hope that you were enlightened, informed, and somewhat entertained. Be well.